Donald Trump did something this week that I want to draw attention to, and I don't want to suggest that this is going to change his presidency or anything like that, but I do think it's revealing about how the stress of the Epstein investigation is getting to him a little bit. Okay. Trump, as you probably know, has reversed positions on the release of the Epstein files, right? He's been opposed. Now he's for it. Then the House is going to vote for it. We assume the Senate's going to vote for it, and the president has said he'll sign it. So Trump was on a plane on the way to Palm Beach, Florida on the 14th, so 4 days ago. And he had a press gaggle. He does this all the time on the plane. And a reporter off camera said, "Mr. President, what did Jeffrey Epstein mean in his emails when he said, quote, you, quote, knew about the girls?" Trump says, "I know nothing about that. They would have announced that a long time ago." And he went on to talk about Larry Summers and Bill Clinton. He said, "Jeffrey Epstein and I had a very bad relationship for many years." Trump then moves on to another reporter to ask a question, but the first reporter asks a follow-up question about incriminating stuff in the files, and Trump turns to her, points his finger at her, and says, "Quiet, quiet, Piggy." Now, I've watched this video a bunch of times. He very clearly is signaling to Catherine Lucy, a reporter at Bloomberg, a female reporter. And I know some of you may just roll your eyes and say that's Trump being Trump, but I want to explain why I think there's a little bit more than that here and why I think it merits your attention. Before I do that, let me just tell you two reasons to subscribe to this channel. Reason one, I'm independent. No big corporate media bosses. No directions taken from Democrats or Republicans. Second, I'm authentic. Always going to tell you what I think, never going to tell you what I think you want to hear. You're going to disagree with me. That is a good thing, not a bad thing. Okay, let's do a little history lesson before I go through why I think this is important. So Donald Trump, is a bully. I mean, whether you like him or you hate him, it's hard to argue he's a bully. It's who he's always been. And he is particularly, he like many bullies, is sort of attracted, I think, to bullying people who he perceives to be as weaker than him. I want to cite, and reporters very much fit in that category, as do women. So I want to cite just a couple quick things. So Donald Trump has used the phrase Piggy before. In Miss Universe 1996, Alicia Machado alleged that Trump, after she won, Trump owned the Miss Universe pageant at that point, that Trump, after she won, regularly referred to her as Miss Piggy and an eating machine. During Trump's first campaign, Trump was at a rally, and he was talking about a reporter named Serge Kovaleski, who's a man. And he said the following: "You ought to see this guy. Oh, I don't know what I said. I don't know what I did." Now, while Trump does that, he makes motions kind of like this. Okay. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. And Kovaleski, who is a longtime reporter at the New York Times, has a condition, and I hope I'm saying this right, called arthrogryposis, which limits the function of his joints, and he does move his arms sort of like that. Now, Trump said, "I never met him. I don't know anything about him. I didn't know he had this condition." But man, what a coincidence. It seems odd that he would just choose to make those motions. So yes, Donald Trump is a bully. Yes, Donald Trump calls people names. He calls people low IQ. He, in this situation, appears to be calling someone fat, a female reporter. This will, unfortunately, cheer at least part of his base who loves this stuff, because it's at least a part of Trump's appeal with that base is trolling the people they don't like. And the media is very much in the people they don't like category. So they're going to be like, "Ha ha, he told that reporter where to stick it. She was interrupting him," but she wasn't really interrupting him. Again, it's a press gaggle. You can shout out questions as much as you want. And she was asking about Jeffrey Epstein, which is news of the day. Liberals will hate it. Independent voters probably won't even hear about it. So I'm not suggesting that this is going to change the course of an election. I always say to people, I'm in the mountains, not molehills business. I'm going to tell you when something's a mountain. I'm going to tell you when something's a molehill. This is not a mountain, but I do think it is revealing and worth the time to talk about it. And the reason why is this. Donald Trump, I think, is under some considerable stress. His party did very poorly in the 2025 elections. His approval rating is very low. His handling of the economy ratings are very low. Democrats are clearly have found a message with this idea of an affordability crisis. There are cracks showing in Trump's longtime unified MAGA base. That is on H-1B visas, on the Iranian nuclear strikes, on his call to end the legislative filibuster, which Senate Republicans promptly ignored. But most notably, those cracks have shown on the debate over whether or not to release the files the Department of Justice has collected over Jeffrey Epstein. I think that Trump has long not wanted these things to come out because he is in them. We know he is in them. Pam Bondi, the attorney general, told Trump he was in them at a meeting in May. I don't know that he's implicated in the wrongdoing, the criminal wrongdoing of Epstein. I tend to think he is not. But I do know the full files would tell us the story of a close friendship between Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, and the very, very, very likely reality that Donald Trump had an idea of what Jeffrey Epstein was doing. He may not have asked the questions because he didn't want to know the answers, but I have a feeling that's what it would show. And at a minimum, it would embarrass Donald Trump. He wants this gone. It's why he tried to bully Republicans in the House and the Senate to ignore it. That's not going to work. It is going to pass. He's going to have to sign it into law, and that annoys the crap out of him. In a situation where he already feels under fire because of the elections, because of the economy issues, because of the affordability messaging. And so he lashes out, right? He calls a reporter a piggy, tells her she needs to be quiet. And it wasn't just that. On Tuesday, Trump was doing a press availability with Mohammed bin Salman, the crown prince of Saudi Arabia. I'll note in that press conference, he dismissed the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi, which Mohammed bin Salman okayed, as things happen. Okay, just put that aside. But he was also asked about the Epstein case and the files during this press availability. He went off on a different reporter, calling that person a terrible reporter. So to me, Trump is a little bit rattled. I think he knows better than to call a reporter a piggy. But sometimes he can't help himself, right? When we are under pressure, when we're under fire, we resort to our most basic instincts. That's human nature. Trump's most basic instinct is bullying. So yes, this is not going to change the course of the election in 2026 or 2028. But I think it is a reminder that presidents are human. Donald Trump is feeling a ton of stress about the Epstein files, and he is lashing out in ways that are very predictable to him. Bullying, trying to silence people, reporters. That's who he is. That's what he does, especially when backed into a corner. So my guess is we're going to see more of this, not less of it, as this Epstein vote continues to work its way through Congress and to the president's desk. But that's why I think this is worth taking note of. Yes, it's appalling. Of course, you should not refer to anyone as a piggy under any circumstances. But it's not shocking because Donald Trump is Donald Trump. But I do think it's very revealing. And that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. Like I said earlier, hope you subscribe. Independent, authentic. Those are my North Stars. I hope you like and comment on this video. Helps me build my community on YouTube, especially among people who aren't already subscribers. Last thing, be an evangelist for me. Tell people about why you like these videos, why you think it's important to have an independent, authentic journalist out there analyzing and breaking down the politics of the day. Okay, everyone, take care.